Alright, so I've been looking at a way to add a generator to the back of my fifth wheel for a long time now, and one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that I could do was protect it while I was traveling. So I made this generator box. Uh, Overall, I think I'm pretty pleased with the build. Of course, I do a couple things over. Well, if I'd had to do it over again, I'd do things differently. But, it is what it is. And it serves its purpose pretty well, I think. So I will tell you that the box that I got was just a little too small for the generator, and it fits in there really snug. And when I say really snug, I mean like it wasn't going to fit in there without some modification. So overall, I think that if I had additional room on either side, you can see it like it's right there against the ladder, really close, and right there up against the air conditioner. I think I would have got a bigger box. But as it stood, they make these boxes in 24 inches wide, so that way. And I believe the up and down is like 18 inches or something like that. And then it's about, I want to say 14 inches deep, but it's small. The next size box that they had was something like a 32, and I did not have enough room to allow for sufficient airflow between the coils that are on the air conditioner, allow an intake on the generator box, and then accommodate the exhaust on the generator box as well. So getting this generator in this box is a chore. I pretty much have to bend it or tilt it on its side, slide it in there, and then stand it up. To even get it to stand up though, I had to put this little hatch here on the top and lift it up in there. This is like a standard boat hatch, but you can tell, it allows me access to the generator itself. And obviously you can't get it out from the top here. The generator's too big. This hatch, I believe, is a 20 by 12 size opening, and it works pretty well for being able to reach in there and grab the thing. But and also, the reason why I put this hatch in here was for access, but with the generator being as tall as it is, if I just cut a hole in the top here and then laid this thing here or this hatch on top of it, the hatch wasn't going to close. The generator is just too big, too tall. Now I could get it in there if I cut or took the feet off the generator and just slid it in there, but then you lose the dampening that the rubber feet provide. I didn't really want that. So what I wound up doing was getting some 3/4 aluminum square tubing and then making me a frame. And what you see here is, this hatch is basically resting on this frame. This frame it's riveted to the top of the aluminum box here, and then I just took and screwed the hatch onto the aluminum frame. Seems to work pretty well, and it's pretty solid. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I did go ahead and use some clear silicone around all the exposed parts where water could get in, just to limit the amount of water that gets in there. And I don't have any real issues with, or don't think there's going to be any real issues with severe water intrusion. I put some clear silicone on the top of these here too. The only part that I'm really not pleased with was the lack of a locally available and reasonably priced grate. So these are steel, and I just painted them with high heat black, and you can tell that, for me putting the thing together, I scraped some of the paint off, but they do allow a pretty good bit of airflow. You can pretty much see right through it there, and offer a decent amount of protection from things like, rain blowing in or coming down straight. Obviously, if it's blowing in like a hurricane, it ain't going to help it all that much, but I think it'll offer pretty good protection. And see, I put me some, I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but yeah, I guess I can't actually see it. These are screwed into the bottom here, and I got 2 eye bolts on either side. So that allowed me to connect up this strap, and just give it a good yank there, and it keeps the generator from bouncing around in there when you're driving down the road. The thing doesn't bounce around in the back here at all anyway. It's not bouncing up and down like 3 or 4 feet, but you just never know. Some roads you hit, whatever, it could be pretty dicey. Now to mount this thing, like I said in previous videos, well, that's supposed to go down. Still getting used to it. To mount this thing, I actually had to beef up my bumper. This is a 3/16 square tubing. It's 4-inch square tubing, and it is stout. I use similar braces, or I made similar braces to what I made for my air conditioner. And this is 1/4-inch square tubing. This is 1/4-inch plate. These are 1/4-inch gussets, and they're all welded together. This welded on the bottom as well. And I got 2 4-inch U-bolts on either side holding the entire assembly together. So that's just one assembly. And then if you take a look here on the front, I use some, I forget what gauge of steel this is. It's not 1/4-inch, but it's just, I got it running here the entire length of the assembly. And I also got some angle here on the back. I think this is 10 gauge right here, but it's sufficient enough to hold the weight of the generator plus the box. And this entire assembly is very, very stout. I mean, I got up on this thing, bounced up and down on it, and it is not going anywhere. Oh, here's another look at the assembly on this side. So, two similar brick brackets, and I don't think that's going to fail anytime soon. Use some double nuts on some, and then just some regular locking washers on the others. And I'll check them occasionally, make sure they're not going anywhere. And let's see what else. Oh, for security, I know that this locks. This box here locks. Obviously, it's locked right there. It's the entire reason I have it in a box, is to keep it secure from thieveries. And this does not lock, but you can't pull the generator out through here. It's too small. Now, if somebody wanted to take the box, they could probably work at it long enough, but to bolt the box here to the bracket that I got this thing on, I use some, I think these are 5/16 bolts, and they go up into the underside of the generator box itself. And let me see if I can get a good shot of the inside here. Well, it's not all jacked up. Oh. So you can probably see that assembly right there. Now, I don't know if you can see it really well, but let's see. I actually used the end braces, came off that 4x4 U-bolts, and use them as kind of braces on the inside to hold it down, or washers on the inside to hold it down. So this is, I'll just get my hand out the way. So in order, I have this U-bolt bracket, a washer, galvanized, and I think it's a stainless steel nylog washer, or nylog nut, whatever you call the things. They are not coming off. So even if somebody wanted to spin the bolts here off the bottom, and they'll get it a little bit loose, right? But unless they can put in like a tremendous amount of down pressure on that bolt, that nut is not coming off the inside there. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I did drill a couple holes in the bottom here of the box itself, just for, let water drain out and stuff. And I'll check it occasionally, make sure the holes aren't full of debris or something like that. The only other consideration that I really have is the air intake here. This is South Texas, and out where we are in the sticks, we get a lot of wasps, and they like to build nests in just about everything. And I expect there's going to be a wasp nest in that at some point, and they're going to be upset when I turn the thing on and start using it, but they'll get either dead or out real quick. So on the intake side, what I'm probably going to do is eventually get some aluminum screen material and then just use some hot glue to attach it to the inside here, or maybe even outside. I guess it really doesn't matter. The inside will probably be more durable though. And on this side, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I could get the aluminum and it'd probably serve the same purpose. I just don't know if that would block the exhaust so much that it wouldn't be able to exhaust it well enough. But I think I'll give this a whirl, you know, throughout the rest of the brief winter that we have here in South Texas. And once it gets on into spring, I'll pull the generator out, put the screen material in, and see how that does me for the next year or so. But overall, pretty pleased with the build. And I think the only other thing I got to do is figure out how now to get my extended run gas tank set up. What I may wind up doing is, you know, just as I'm driving down the road, I'll just use the internal tank if I want to use it. And then whenever I set up, I'll just use like a regular 2-gallon gas can or something like that and set it on top of the air conditioner or down someplace where it can actually siphon. The gas cap that I have is too big, or it sits too tall to sit up underneath this. So I'll actually have to crack this a little bit, run the tube out, and get the generator to fill up that way. But anyway, that's my generator box build. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer. And I will see you guys in Cyberland.